Hello friends, it's craft time at the Sault Ste. Marie Public Library. My name is Meredith and I'm glad to have you with me today. We are missing having you here with us, so we thought we'd bring a craft to you today for you to do at home with us. And today we're going to do for our craft a craft called salt painting, and it looks a little bit like this when it's finished. It's really fun to do. And some basic supplies that you'll need to be able to do your craft today are some salt and some white glue. And then if you happen to be fancy and all artsy, which is awesome, and you have watercolor paints at home, you can use them for the craft. I do not have any. So I made my own today using some water and a few drops of food coloring. I only had 3 colors of food coloring today. I had red, yellow, and blue. So I mixed the blue and yellow together to make some green. So I have 4 colors to work with today. So you can make whatever colors you'd like. And you just need a few drops in a little container. I've used some baby food jars. And you'll also need a little paintbrush, or you can also use a Q-tip. Cotton swab to use instead of a paintbrush. So let's give it a go and see what it turns out like today. So we start with our glue, and you can make any kind of pattern or design that you would like. You can draw a heart or a car, or you can make some squiggles just like I've done. It's really up to you, and you can make it as easy or as complicated as you'd like. So I'm going to do something a little bit similar to what I did as our sample one. So just squeezing the glue out. I'm using just some white paper. You can use whatever you'd like at home though. Construction paper of any kind works. It's nice if it's a bright color or white because it shows up better. And then you can just draw your design out with your glue. And you'll notice I have my paper sitting on a kind of slightly old cookie sheet. If you have a cookie sheet at home or something like this that you can use, it works really well for the next stage of the craft, which is putting the salt on, because it kind of keeps it all in one spot. So what we do is we just take our salt, and make sure you have permission from an adult to use your salt, because it does use quite a bit. And we just sprinkle our salt over top of our design. Make sure you get a good amount on. And you can take a look at it and just see afterwards if you've got it all covered up. I think I got all the spots. And it doesn't take long to do. And after you are done covering it in salt, then just tilt it up and slide all the extra salt off. And you can see I just have, maybe it's hard to see on camera, I have a white line of glue covered in salt. Now for the next step, when you take your paintbrush or your cotton swab and you have your paint ready, it's a pretty simple thing to do. What we're going to do, instead of taking our paintbrush and painting on the paper, is we're going to dip it in whatever color we want to use and just lightly touch it onto our salt. And you'll see when you do that, it's almost like the paint is just dripping onto the salt. And as you do it, it's really cool because the paint or the water is just absorbing all right through into your salt. Can you see that on the camera there? It's really fun. It just spreads all on its own. And you can do whatever you'd like. I've done some alternating colors, so let's try that. And you can rinse your brush in between, just in some water if you want to. Or you can mix them together, because sometimes when you put colors over top of each other, they make a different color. So sometimes red and blue will make a purple color, or you could do red and yellow to make some orange. Lots of different things you can do. So you can see how quick that goes. You can just drip it on here. Let's try, maybe let's try some yellow. See what that's gonna look like. Oh yeah, it almost makes a little bit of a green where they overlap. On here. And you'll see right now as we're doing this that our colors look really, really bright, and the design looks really puffy. And that's going to change a little bit as it dries. You'll see from the sample one that I have there that the colors kind of go a little bit softer, and a lot of the salt will flake off, and you'll be left with a really cool design that you can put up as a design or a picture at your house. Let's do a little bit more red on here. It's really fun. This one kind of looks like a big long snake, and I was having a lot of fun doing this. And the more drops of food coloring you add, the darker your color gets. Actually, we could do that right now just as an example of what it would look like. So since I'm using the red, let's take our red food coloring, and we'll just put a couple more drops in here just to see. There we go, 4 more drops. And we'll stir it around with our paintbrush, and we'll see if it makes a difference what it looks like when we're doing our salt painting. And then you can see the different colors you can make. Let's see if it makes a difference or not. Oh yeah, it's not too much, but you can see it's a little bit darker there. That's kind of cool. So you can do that. I wonder if we dripped some blue on top of our red, if it would make a purple design. Let's take a look and see if it makes a purple one. Not too much. Kind of just takes over the red. There we go, and we're almost done our design today. I think maybe we should do a little bit more yellow and a little bit more green today on our picture. So I don't know what kind of design you would like to do. I like the idea of maybe making a flower too, just because there's so many different colors that you can use to make your flower. There we go, look at that. And we'll end with some green here, nice bright green. The nice thing about doing this is that these are easy to wash up afterwards. This is just water and food coloring, so you can just put it in the drain. Make sure you don't get it on your clothes though. There we go. So there we are. So there we have what it'll look like to start with once you've just finished. And then after it dries, it's going to be a little bit more like this. So you can see there's a little bit of a difference there. So give it a try, and if you would like to show us what you have made, you can get an adult to post on social media and just tag us at #SSMPL, and we'll take a look at some of the pictures that you've done. Thanks for joining us today. Take care.